wearing...
Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention! Talking. And, okay, I'm sorry. We're back. We got more of it. God dang, we got more of it. Do you see it? It's an animatronic on my screen. God dang! We got the FNAF, bro. Took you long enough. My fault, bro. Welcome back to the channel, bro. For those of you who don't know, I've made quite a name. Not a name for myself, but we've garnered quite a good amount of people who enjoy FNAF here, and I need to feed y'all. I do like the videos. I decided instead of posting a bunch of short ones to post a few long ones. So we're gonna have 2 videos in one, and we're gonna do that. Don't remember what happened in the last video, but as FNAF usually goes, I'll catch on as the video's going. But you already know the vibes. 1 curse, 3 push-ups. Let's just get straight into it.
Well, hello again, theorist.
Talk to me. Oh, 1 jump scare is 5 clap push-ups, but I've just gotten back from the gym and my triceps hurt. I'd really like to not jump scare.
Party plan today, and it's all for you. So,
don't jump scare me.
Are you ready
Don't
for
jump scare
round
me.
2? Well,
I'm good.
It's too late to turn back now. Get ready for a surprise in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Is it over?
Hello, Internet!
Okay,
Welcome
okay,
to Game Theory, where...
Bet,
did you know
bet,
that Funtime
bet.
Freddy was almost German? Jawohl! Check it
What?
out!
Hello, little children.
Ew.
Nice to see you back again. Come closer. I'll sing a song for you.
A German Freddy is disgusting, bro.
How wild is that? Forget Freddy Fazbear, it's Freddy Fazbear. Right now,
Fazbear.
FNAF 5 gave us sister location, FNAF 6 gives us international expansion.
Okay, talk to me.
This is it. The end of an era. My last...
No, it's not. He proceeded to lie. He definitely made a billion other FNAF videos after this. I think he posted a FNAF video today.
FNAF lore
And it's 2025.
theory until a new game gets released. Makes me kind of sad, actually.
Bro was acting like me as a kid when Sonic EXE was on my screen. I was not watching none of them Sonic EXE videos. And no, I'm not playing Sonic EXE. Stop thinking about it. No.
So let's make it a good one as we set out to finish the job that we started 3 whole years together. And spoiler alert, purple guy, it's not the phone guy. Believe me, I tried. So of the 5 Aftons, last time we had killed off 2.
Okay, we got the mom, who is, she's the ballerina one. William, who's god dang Springtrap. The son, Michael, who turned into one. The daughter, who's baby. And the little boy, who's Golden Freddy.
That's bald knowledge, boy! Mother and daughter who go on to become Baby and Ballora. Afton's daughter getting clawed results in the immediate closure of Circus Baby's Pizza World, leading the company to retire the creepy, rosy-cheeked characters deep underground where memories sleep. But now let's talk about one question I haven't addressed yet, and one that was on everyone's mind during the launch to Sister Location. Where is Chica in all this? For the first time in these games, one of the core 4 animatronics was just gone. That seems significant, right? And it is. I joked earlier about FNAF Lederhosen location, but it touches on an element of these games that we tend to brush aside. That there's a business element running through all of them. Corporate doublespeak and liability talk coming from Phone Guy, parent companies in the form of Fazbear Entertainment, franchising with Sister Location. So
I'm with
what
it.
if Chica is missing from Circus Baby's gang because she was her own independent mascot at the time?
Lord, if you're seeing this, please make Yoyo play Sonic EXE. Or smite us, all of us in this stream, down. That boy Cheerio, I'm gonna do everyone else a favor and rebuke that. Yo, yo, chill.
It's not just wild speculation either. In the Scott Games source code leading up to Sister Location's release, we got all sorts of hints.
Hey, what's good? Your local psychotic poet.
The form of animatronic maintenance schedules. But mixed in there was a reference to something surprising. Chica's
It's good, KV2 valid.
party world, mentioned by name. Definitive proof that the character was the mascot of another business existing at the same time as Circus Babies, which was also a client of Afton Robotics. Chica isn't in sister location because she isn't a part of the family yet. She's still a solo act, but we know by FNAF 4 she's clearly a part of the Freddy.
Oh, so Chica wasn't part of the original cast? Because FNAF 2 and the original FNAF, wrong button, my fault, were after Sister's location. So that would make sense that Chica wasn't there because she's not connected to Five Nights at Freddy's yet, I would assume.
Fredbear and Friends lineup. So it would.
Oh my God, I know the lore. I know the lore, bro. I know the lore. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
It seemed that Fazbear Entertainment grew by merging with or buying out the other animal-themed restaurants in the area, with Chica being the last addition to the crew and why she's a part of the series from here on out. So no, theorists, contrary to popular belief, it wasn't just Scott trying to reduce the amount of creepy poultry-themed fan art. Let's be real here for a second. Bibs aren't sexy. I'm just saying it now.
No, Chica's not attractive. You're just a weirdo. Come on, gang.
Calling it like a season. So Fazbear Entertainment decides to go all in on the animal-themed robot.
Exceller, both.
That's because the whole clown thing was just a stupid idea. I mean, seriously, William, do some market research. Americans are more afraid of clowns than global warming. Know your consumer, man. Anyway, in FNAF 4, Fredbear's expanded to have himself some friends, and has become so popular that they're in full sellout mode, complete with plushies, toys, a TV show, and the ever-popular item, masks. Get them now.
Got it.
They're selling like a god church. None of this would exist if this were truly the first location of a local pizza chain, confirming that this location in FNAF 4 is not where it all started like many have been assuming. What we're seeing here is something else, presumably what the TV says. Fredbear and Friends, a hybrid restaurant of the old Fredbear characters and the new spin-off ones where every character has their own spring-lock suit. Notice that the FNAF 4 Nightmare
They're all spring-locked.
Animatronics all have 5 fingers. The only other animatronic to have that feature, Springtrap.
Right.
5 fingers because the humans have to wear the suits.
Okay.
Which leads us to one of the biggest debates in this franchise. Is this 1983
What's good? It's your boy CC.
or 1987? The bite at the birthday party makes
83, 80. No. Yeah, no, 83 was the kid and 87 was FNAF 2.
it seem like it's 1987, but the TV says that it's 1983.
Right.
Never before has so much nerd rage been prompted by discussion over trademark dates. Rage that lives on to this day, but now I can finally bring calm to the storm.
I need y'all to know I didn't retain information in school as well as I'm retaining the freaking FNAF lore, bro. Like, I don't know what it is about MatPat, bro, but for some reason the information's going in my dome and it's staying there. I struggled to read a clock while I was playing Stray today. But you know what? I know the difference between the bite of 87 and the bite of 83.
This is 1983.
Right.
We know this based on a recent Reddit post Scott made on the subject of whether or not he's ever retconned his story. Quote, "The truth is that I've done one actual retcon in the series, although I'm not going to say where it was. There have been other times, however, when my original intentions didn't come across clearly.
Okay.
In those instances, I make a point to clarify in the next game. I used Sister Location to clear up a misconception from FNAF 4.
Okay.
End quote. Reading this, the obvious misconception from FNAF 4 was the year the events of the game took place,
Yes.
which, true to his word, he clarified via Sister Location and the private room camera code of 1983. When
Okay.
Michael Afton revisits his father's control room decades after the fact, he sees that all along William had been surveilling their family home using cameras that were password protected by one of the most
Hey, happy birthday, Pee-wee's Games.
powerful dates of his life. Regardless, neglectful father William participates in the worst Bring Your Son to Work Day program ever by taking his traumatized son to a restaurant filled with robots he's afraid are gonna scoop him. And solidly in the no-help column is his older brother who taunts him mercilessly for his fears. The story comes to a climax when the brother's teasing goes too far, getting his younger brother chomped at his own birthday party. At the end of the game, William, through his psychic friend Fredbear observation plushies, patent pending, promises to put his son back together, except he's too late. We hear a hospital flatline faintly in the background as the cutscene ends, meaning that the child dies. That's far from where his story ends. He appears in every other FNAF game because even though Daddy fails to put him back together, miraculously the
He's Golden Freddy, I know that. Pre-jump scare?
crying child finds his way into becoming the ghostly Golden Freddy. For proof as to why, let's speed things up.
Remember what Scott said in his Reddit post? He tries to clarify things in the next game, and between FNAF 3 and FNAF 4, there's a point he made sure to clarify: the Happiest Day minigame. Notice the masks across the two games, not just symbolic imagery, but a direct reference to the masks worn during the crying child's failed birthday. Freddy,
and then they went down.
Bonnie, Chica. The restaurant layout is also the same, just mirror flipped, with 3 party tables.
I remember this. I remember watching this.
Tables decorated with green, yellow, red, purple, and blue balloons. And it's a birthday party as evidenced by the cake. The puppet is recreating the birthday that was stolen from the crying child, and the mask that the crying child is seen wearing.
Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention! He's talking.
Golden Freddy. But that's not all. The crying child gets taken by Death, aka Nightmare, an animatronic who just so happens to have an inverted Golden Freddy color palette. Yellow hat and tie with a black body as opposed to a yellow body with black accessories. Coincidence?
Okay.
I think not. It's also worth noting that Nightmare is one of only 2 canon animatronics to have a jump scare that's a static image with strange noises that crashes the game. The other, Golden Freddy.
Which leaves us with 2, William and Michael, father and son.
Okay, yeah, so he is Golden Freddy. Got it.
Purple guy and other purple guy. The rest
That's Michael and William. That's easy. Come on.
of the timeline is the story of a serial killer father and the son who's following behind, retracing William's steps to undo his father's cruel work and free the spirits of the dead children. This next bit we're all pretty familiar with since it's based on evidence from Phone Guy. The bite of 83 causes spring locks to get discontinued. William, acting as a technician across all the Fazbear restaurants, is responsible for handling the recalled suits and starts using the Golden Bonnie outfit to lure children into the secret safe rooms hidden in the back.
I did not mean to do that. I did not say that in a way to insinuate that I also lure children. Wait, why are you crooked? I didn't even hit you that hard. I was doing that to kind of just keep my, to just remember stuff.
Of each restaurant will he'll be safely off camera. He first strikes on June 26th at the FNAF 1 location. This murder, dubbed the Missing Children's Incident, eventually gets the place shut down, but results in Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy getting newly murdered children to power their engines. Those animatronics, along with the puppet, get shifted to the FNAF 2 location.
So we don't know who the puppet is.
Along with some new toy robots linked to a criminal database to prevent a mass murder from happening again. Even some old favorites get pulled out of retirement.
Well, y'all do. I don't. I have no clue who the puppet is. Because I at first thought the puppet... Wait, no, the puppet is the first victim. It's the first... Bro, I'm a FNAFologist. I forgot. I forgot.
Specifically Balloon Boy. And with that full roster, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza...
What's her name? The puppet. Come on, lock in. Duh.
...has its grand reopening. Now posing as a security guard, William, with his spring lock crank in hand, not phone, strikes again, causing the place to get investigated. William flees the scene, leaving the day shift security guard position open. Jeremy Fitzgerald moves up to fill the empty slot, but gets himself bit by the agitated animatronics in an event that comes to be known...
I don't know who the freak Charlie is. I think y'all just spoiled me.
...as the Bite of 87, an event that forces the company to cease any...
Oh, so the Bite of 87 is Michael. Michael's the Bite of 87.
...free-roaming activities of the animatronics from that day forward. The toy animatronics get scrapped for just sucking at spotting a child murderer, and the old robots get stored back at the original FNAF 1 location. At this point, though, William knows that these things are alive and angry at it.
Where did you get that? Wait, no, because Michael was the one who was working during FNAF 2. That's what he just said.
He tries to dismantle...
Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, Michael's the FNAF, Michael's the Bite of 87.
...them using the safe room as his cover. And it would have worked out too if it weren't for those meddling kids. Or at least their meddling spirits, because he didn't calculate that the spirits could live on without the animatronic shells. He tries to defend himself against these ghosts by ducking into his trusty murder suit, but his...
but he gets spring locked.
...haste coupled with the moisture of the room causes the spring locks to fail and Afton to get skewered inside of the big yellow bunny. The company, trying to save face and, let's be honest, their stock value, covers up William's crime spree by sealing off the safe room with the dying William Afton. Now
I lost the plot? When did I lose? Michael is the Bite of 87, right? Right? No. What? Oh, I thought he just said that. Fitzgerald. Who the freak is Fitzgerald? What's up, Charlie? Fitzgerald. Who the freak are these people, bro?
Springtrap inside. I know, but Michael might be Springtrap. We're getting there. The management...
No. William is Springtrap.
...instructs all Fazbear...
Jeremy? Who the fudge is Jeremy?
...employees to behave as though those safe rooms...
Oh no.
Never existed, and another Afton falls victim to a horrible fate. Only this time, he absolutely, totally deserved it. But now let's look at the final Afton, Michael.
Michael,
His story
okay.
begins with the main gameplay of Sister Location, where Mike Afton, who we learn looks a lot like his father,
They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you.
is sent by dear old dad to put
Oh, it was the guy okay. The Bite of 87 was Jeremy Fitzgerald, and I'm assuming Jeremy Fitzgerald worked there before Michael did. Got it. Okay. I'm there.
put his sister back together, a promise that William makes to apparently a lot of his kids. This request of Michael presumably happened some years earlier when Mike was still a child, or before Afton ran away to escape murder charges, as implied by him saying,
I'm going to come find you.
Mike succeeds in saving Baby, but gets himself scooped in the process,
Right.
having his innards replaced with innards. As
Right.
we see throughout the canon Custom Night cutscenes, this causes his body to slowly decay, turning
Yo, the fact that this clip has turned into a meme is so funny to me, bro. I see this clip so often on TikTok, and it's so funny because it has so much lore behind it, but it's used in memes, bro.
purple until Ennard abandons ship to look for a fresher body that'll draw less suspicion. Michael miraculously survives his Ennard enema, and here's where all sorts of puzzle pieces start to
How the fudge did he survive that?
fall together. First, we know his name is Michael, but that he also goes by Mike, as shown by his name tag on hand unit. This
Got it.
immediately connects us to FNAF 1's Mike Schmidt, the original security
That was Michael Afton?
guard, a guy who eventually gets fired for tampering with
Tampering with the animatronics. Probably because you was putting kids in it. Pause. 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 Pause.
the animatronics and his odor. It was the first game in the series, so we all thought it was a funny joke, but now we know better. Scott doesn't do.
And that was the first game, so he did that on purpose. Can you stop staring at the door? It's making me nervous. I hate when she does this because it makes me seem like someone's at my door. I know no one's at my door. But if she's staring so intently, I feel like I have to. There's no one there. There's no one there.
Jokes. Not only does the name Mike match, but a rotting flesh sack with no innards would definitely be pretty smelly. And
Right.
if true to Sister Location, Mike's mission is to free the spirits of children killed by his dad, he would absolutely be guilty of tampering with the animatronic.
Oh, he wasn't putting kids in it. He was taking kids out of it. Okay, got it.
It even provides us for an explanation as to why the animatronics would be trying to kill
No jump scares. No jump. He said it's William. William Afton is not at my freaking. Okay. All right. Get.
him in the first place. We hear it in Sister Location. He looks just like his father, which, man, William, if your face looks like a rotting corpse, might be time to consider getting some plastic surgery. But if
Yeah.
all that wasn't enough, we can even tie it in with Golden Freddy's behavior in the game. Anytime Golden Freddy appears in FNAF 1, he's accompanied with the flashing text
It's me.
of,
It's me, cause it's his brother. Cause it's his brother. Okay. All right. I'm there.
of It's Me. As we just saw, Golden Freddy contains the spirit of the
Of his
crying
brother.
child, Mike's brother. So the It's Me is one brother speaking to another brother, making him aware that he's here, he's present, and in need of spiritual release. Now, knowing that Mike Afton and Mike Schmidt are one and the same, rewind to FNAF 2 and the character Fritz Smith, a security guard fired on his first day on the job for what? Odor and tampering with the animatronics.
Fritz.
Coincidence?
Wait, Fritz. Fritz? Who's the one that got bit? That's Fitzgerald. So I don't know who Fritz is.
Absolutely not. Scott doesn't do coincidences. Michael Afton is literally going location to location, undoing the sins of his father's past and stinking up the places as he do. Like Michael says at the end of Custom Night.
I'm going to come find you.
And find him he does at Fazbear Fright.
But before we get to the end of the timeline, let's address the elephant in the room. The fact that Purple Guy is established to be the killer, and Michael is clearly shown to be purple in the Custom Night. So wouldn't that make him the killer? No. As much as I hate to say it, there are actually 2 purple guys, but only 1 real purple guy. Admittedly, I left that purposely vague for dramatic effect, but let me explain. Or better yet, let FNAF World explain. In it, you recruit a familiar-looking purple sprite onto your team, and he says this: "Don't confuse me with the actual purple guy. I'm just a game sprite." And there's the difference. One of these characters is physically purple. That character is Michael, and the other is just a placeholder on the screen. A sprite representing a shadowy figure who, because the background of the minigames happens to be black, had to be colored differently, and that color was purple. But you don't even have to get that meta. It's made pretty darn clear in Sister Location's intro that William is the one who built animatronics intended to capture kids, whereas Michael is established as the one who's trying to save them. Even the timeline supports this. The murders date back all...
Good purple guy, bad purple guy. Got it. Michael's actually purple. William is not. Got it. Got it.
Wait, a Fredbear family diner in the 70s with a guy who's old enough to drive. There's no chance that Michael, the son, would be the right age to be the original purple guy. And lastly, if you believe that Michael Afton is also Mike Schmidt and Fritz Smith, as the evidence suggests, then the phone guy calls give you an alibi. Phone guy is talking to you about other security guards being investigated for murder, which implies that you yourself are not guilty.
Mike's efforts to atone for his family's past proved to be successful. Game by game, we see him piecing together the family reunion. Sister Location saw him free both Ballora and Baby. Then in FNAF 3's Fazbear Fright, Afton's younger brother, now in the form of Golden Freddy, receives
Don't jump scare me.
peace via the Happiest Day minigame. Even the spirits inside Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica get exorcised by Mike, which is why the good ending of FNAF 3 shows 4 empty, unlit animatronic heads. That's also why, come the main gameplay of FNAF 3, the only animatronic that's still active in real life is Springtrap. Mike has been successful at appeasing every other one of the
I don't know where FNAF Fright is on the timeline, but I'm assuming FNAF Fright is later.
spirits, leaving him alone with dear old dad.
I'm going to come find you.
He gets a job as security guard of Fazbear Fright, and
Right.
shortly after, the creators of the attraction stumble across FNAF 1's secret room, with the remains of Mike's father spring-trapping around inside. Mike sets the place on fire to finish off his killer dad once and for all, because seriously, did you really think that building just spontaneously caught on fire? Fires in fictional stories always have a dramatic purpose, and Mike would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for that meddling father, who in both the FNAF 3 newspaper clippings and Sister Location's special ending is shown to have survived the fire.
He can't die, bro. Good God.
And is now undoubtedly more bloodthirsty than ever. The end, question mark, hallelujah. The craziest part of all this is when you actually stop and look at the story, there really isn't a need for FNAF 6. Outside of the return of Springtrap cliffhanger and revealing what's inside the box, yeah, remember that? Everything else pretty much has an answer. Sure, there are still parts of the tale that could be more fleshed out, like the origins of the puppet or what happens after Ennard gets ejected from Mike, but at this point, all the characters have completed their story arcs. The family is reunited and the spirits are all at peace.
And somehow, Game Theory would continue to make probably 100 more videos after this point.
It's actually pretty poetic. It took nearly 20 theories and literally weeks of my life studying these.
Come on, bro. You know it's not over, gang. You know it's not over, gang. You know it's not over, bro.
Breadcrumbs to get there, but we did it. We got to a solution that fit together practically all of the loose ends, and that's pretty darn special. Thank you for being a part of that journey with me. It's been an incredible ride. I have no doubt that this isn't 100% correct, but you know what? It's an explanation I'm happy with. One that I feel provides a sense of closure.
I'm gonna put my hand on your shoulder when I tell you this, bro. Get back on the sticks, gang. The gang's not. Actually, they just dropped a new one recently.
To the series, and one that I'm gonna let stand as my final word on the 5 games worth of series lore until a new installment.
Don't jump.
Crap, a new
There you go.
installment that just so happened to get teased immediately after last week's part 1. Scott, don't go getting predictable on me. Calling it now just so I can avoid the inevitable prediction theory. It's an installment that looks like it's gonna be taking yet another step back in the timeline to tell the origin stories of the puppet. Notice how the sprites are the exact same as the FNAF 2 Give Cake minigames, where the first child gets murdered and the puppet pops out of the screen.
Ain't no fucking way, boy.
Does that count?
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Does that count? Does that? Yes, it counts. It counts, bro.
Also notice that the rainbow design is a direct callback to the aesthetic of 70s technology, which is when Fredbear Family Diner and the first murder would take place. Lastly, the
Can't believe they got me, bro.
source code on Scott Games keeps saying, what is paragraph 4? Well, paragraph 4 could be relating to a lot of things, but the one thing that jumps out at me is that as soon as my episode went up, this teaser came out. Paragraph 4 of my episode last week happened to be about William Afton's first murders. Before I end all this, let me give the hardest of hardcore fans one more deep dive on the whole Willtrap versus Miketrap debate. Let's speed it up. Most hardcore fans believe Mike is the purple guy currently in the Springtrap suit, and it's easy
Cap.
to see why.
Bro, I picked that up so early. That's just impossible.
His voice is modified with an electronic effect in the custom night ending. Springtrap pops up at the end of Mike's final words.
I'm going to come find you.
And the purple guy Sprite who ends up in the suit is seen releasing kids from their animatronics. However, these are easily explained away.
Yeah, they're two different purple guys.
We've heard Springtrap talk before, or should I say gurgle before in FNAF 3. And Mike's voice is very different from Springtrap's. Springtrap popping up on I'm going to come find you could very easily just be a visual storytelling element where Mike is stating his mission to track his father down. We visually see that he did it, but oh no, cliffhanger, Dad ain't dead. And we already talked about how William could very well be dismantling the animatronics to try and stop their attack. So it seems like a pretty balanced debate, or at least it does until you look at the timeline. Based on order of events, William inside Springtrap is undeniable. Whoever is working as Night Guard and Fazbear Fright can't just be some random guy off the street. It's someone who has seen both the FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 animatronics, considering he's having hallucinations of Mangle, Balloon Boy, and the Puppet, as well as the first generation version of Chica. The only person who worked at both of those places outside of William Afton himself
Mike.
is Michael Afton. Also, we hear that Circus Baby's rentals appeared in the wake of Freddy's Pizza being closed, but the safe rooms were sealed with Springtrap inside while Freddy's Pizza was still open. That's why there's a whole series of phone guy tapes telling employees about the safe rooms, how to use them, and then, oh wait, no, we're closing them down, pretend like they never existed.
This is just to allow all employees that due to other restrictions, previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at both locations.
Okay.
More crews will be here hosted today, constructing a whole wall over the old door base. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you have anything inside, then it's your own fault. And it's
Okay.
also request that this room not be mentioned family, friends, or insurance representatives.
If Mike were truly Springtrap, that would mean he never would have had the opportunity to get souped and turn purple since Circus Baby's rentals wouldn't have opened at that point, and he would have been trapped in the walls of the FNAF 1 location in the Springtrap suit. Lastly, if Mike were Springtrap, then who set fire to Fazbear Fright? I guarantee that fire was intentional. It was meant to finish off the last awful pieces of Freddy's legacy, and Mike's really the only one possessing that sort of motive. William is the established killer who would be cocky thinking that he got away from the spirits by hiding in his golden Bonnie suit, which seems very counter to how Mike behaves. Oh yeah, and let's also not forget Scott confirmed our theories on the killer being in Springtrap years ago. If all of that doesn't convince you, well, I look forward to watching your research. Alright, 12 pages later, I'm finally ready to close this thing out. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Now don't get mad at me when the new game comes out in a few weeks and everyone
And then everything is
tells me to
freaking.
do another theory about it. Hey, and a very special thanks to Kellen.
Yeah, that's gonna be it.
The next day.
And to you monsters trapped in the corridors,
Talk
be
to me.
still and give up your spirits.
Talk to me.
They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace and perhaps more waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of
That
you,
is so stupid.
the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
Jeez, Scott. I know we didn't get along all the time, but condemning me to hell seems a bit extreme. Seriously, though, can we turn on some air conditioning here or something? It's,
Matt is so dumb, bro.
bit warm in here. Oh, wait, it is me because I'm wearing my snuggly new... Help!
Messing with y'all.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, where
Talk to me.
let's just take a collective moment and get this all out of the way. Say it with me now. Another FNAF video. You said the last one was
Yeah, come on, we never believe him when he's talking about a last FNAF video, though. Come on now.
gonna be your last. Yeah, I know, but I also said this. Now, don't get mad at me when the new game comes out in a few weeks and everyone tells me to do another theory about it. And true enough to form, that's exactly
Yeah, like what? Come on now.
what happened. I released my final two-parter theory on the subject, and exactly 1 month later, FNAF 6, disguised under the fan-game-esque name of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator,
That makes sense.
released. Now, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you all thought that Scott and I were the same person. Come to think of it, you have never seen us in the same room together at the same time. Anyway, the game came out over 2 months ago, and
Talk to
ever
me.
since I've had countless people asking me for the theory. Over 10 people in the last week alone stopped me on the street and asked,
Dang! Getting pressed in public to make videos about FNAF is actually hilarious. That is a funny concept. It's like, yo, you want a picture? No, I want you to psychoanalyze a video game. Oh, autograph? No, like that has to be. We're all pressing you. What are you talking about? You know what? Someone did tell me to play horror games at DreamCon. Now that I think about it, that did happen to me. No.
For a FNAF episode. And that's not even mentioning all the emails I've gotten in that time. So for Ben, Steven, Phil, Cassie, Matt, Lucas,
Dang.
Sarah, Alex, Matt number 2, and NBA rookie of last year, Carl Anthony Towns. That's no joke, actually.
Carl Anthony hit. That is funny.
As well as everyone who has sent in something requesting an episode on FNAF, this one, and potentially one squeezed between this one and the next theory, and maybe even a third one down the line at some point. Those
What's good, PDV Reacts?
are all for you. Now, FNAF 6 was a very different game from any of the ones that came before. Not because it had a weird roller coaster type
I didn't fall for that jump scare.
cartoon-esque metagame connecting all the security camera maintenance you've come to know and tolerate from this series, but because it's much more explicit than usual. This game has a lot of talking, accompanied by clear visual storytelling to reinforce what you're hearing, meaning that a lot of the major plot points of this game are fairly easy to understand, which has gotta be like a first for the entirety of this franchise.
Yes, because every game before this was a freaking side-scroller horror.
FNAF 6 is filled with a sense of finality. It's clearly meant to tie up all the loose ends and serve as the last game of the series. Or, let me be clear, the last part of the series covering what I'm gonna call the Purple Guy saga. It's like Dragon Ball Z up in here. A saga which begins with a series of murders that result in animatronics coming to life, continues with the Afton family meeting with a series of terrible fates, and ends with the spirits of everyone involved getting closure, one way or another. Because this game feels much more obvious in its story, many online theorists have chosen to focus on the major story beats, actively ignoring the game's more unusual.
Who the freak are these people? Is that an alligator animatronic? Was that a pig?
Bits, the wrinkles that don't quite fit in cleanly. But it's in those wrinkles that we find answers to some of the longest held questions of the franchise, and the clues that we need to finally put the whole puzzle together. So stick with me and prepare to get a little wrinkly like a toe left in the
Please don't tell me I get confused, bro.
bathtub for too long, because while today is certainly a theory, or rather multiple theories all in one episode, it's also me trying to open the door to you guys, equipping you with the information
That jump scare didn't get me twice. Unscary ass jump scene, bro.
necessary to discuss the final points lingering around the edge of this mysterious franchise, finally closing the book on the Purple Guy saga. Now,
You know what? I'm gonna get in lock-in position. I'm gonna get in lock-in position. Because this sounds like it's gonna be a lot.
Get to the deep lore here, let me quickly run through the major reveals of this game just to make sure that we're all working with the same understanding. In the aftermath of FNAF 3's Happiest Day minigame, the spirits of Freddy...
They all got like, put to rest. I remember this.
Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Golden Freddy have all been put to rest, which left only the lingering threads of Springtrap with William Afton inside,
Entered with Michael.
With Baby inside.
I thought Ennard was in Michael.
Michael Afton, I'm a living corpse who used to have robot
Oh, yeah.
tentacles inside, and the puppet, with nothing inside. Prior to the release of this game, Scott's two websites, scottgames.com and fnafworld.com, were talking to each other in their source code. A conversation which showed Baby and Ennard getting into a fight, and Baby basically getting voted out of the tribe. Which is why, in this new game, the two are once again separate entities. Ennard, in this game, assumes the form of Molten Freddy, which, adding in this game's other new edition of Rockstar Freddy, brings the total number of different Freddy forms across the entire...
Let me guess. Molten, Rockstar, Golden, Shadow, Nightmare, Freddy 2. There's 6. 6 Freddys. I want to go 6. Wait, no, and Psychic Friend Fredbear. 7.
Series to 12.
How did I miss 5?
12 different Freddys alone. And 12 different
1, 2,
3
4, 5,
Freddy
6, 7, 8, 9. You only showed 9.
And you'll wonder why this game is confusing to talk about. Baby, meanwhile, becomes Scrap Baby, complete with a lobster claw and roller skates because Scott was like, wee, it's my final game. I can make the designs whatever the hell I want to. Springtrap now has a cleft chin, and heck, why not? There's a weird black bear named Lefty, because why the heck not throw a 13th bear onto the pile? Throughout the game, you're not only tasked with handling the best characters ever, featuring such standouts as #1 Crate and Mr. Hugs, but every night you'll find one of your old friends out in that back alley, and it's your task per paragraph 4 of your employment contract to salvage that animatronic, bringing them into your establishment.
If you are playing this tape, that means that not only have you been checking outside at the end of every shift, as you were instructed to do, but also that you have found something that meets
Don't jump scare me, bro. Do not jump scare me, bro.
the criteria of your special obligations under paragraph 4.
Fast forward a couple nights to the true ending of the game, where we learned that the whole pizzeria was just a trap made to lure the stray animatronics into the same place at the same time, so that they and the horrors of Freddy Fazbear's could be finished off once and for all in a final blaze of glory. Even though that technically happened once before in FNAF 3 and Springtrap survived. But hey, who's counting? Me, but you know, that's what I do. And who of all people set up this trap? What is the identity of this mysterious cassette man? Well, the first clue we get is actually in the closing monologue.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
It's an old friend of William Afton's, Henry, no last name given. And if that lack of a last
I thought
name
Henry was dead.
It's familiar, well, it should. I mentioned this guy a
Henry's William Afton's old partner, right?
lot during that dark period where I used information from the books for my sister location theories. In the book series, he's the animatronic genius who partnered with William to create the Freddy bots. And this isn't only speculation. One of the secret endings, the insanity ending, proves that this is Henry. If during the game you buy this freak show egg,
what the fudge is this?
Creature for way too much money, it causes your computer's power button to switch from green to blue. If you then hold the power button like you're starting the computer in safe mode, it causes a hidden recording to play. An audio tape that happens to be labeled HR.
Oh, that's OD Henry.
Why? Henry. But the insanity ending shows us even more than just a light connection back to the novels, as Henry talks about his regret over ever helping
And y'all expect me to play this? Bro, I don't know how to do all this.
William create the animatronics and his plan to lure everyone together to finish this off once and for all. We're shown a series of secret blueprints. Most of them provide a bit more detail into how this wacky world works. We're shown that Afton's scooper from sister location functions by infusing things with, for lack of a better term, soul energy, what Afton calls Remnant. This is how Michael was able to survive as a purple corpse post his Ennard enema. We also see that Molten Freddy, formerly Ennard, still contains the souls of Ballora, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Foxy.
Okay, got it.
And that our mission under paragraph 4 is
so Ennard turned into Molten Freddy and Baby, because Baby got kicked out.
To specifically collect and destroy the Remnant once and for all. Remnant is destroyed by overheating, hence the fire at the end. We even learn the detail that literally no one was asking for: how to simulate children. The RASC, or Remote Activated Simulated C I'm assuming stands for child, simulates body temperatures of 98.6 degrees and then runs around making child noises. Hence how you're able to lure all the murderous animatronics.
Jaco, yes I am, because I don't think I'm gonna laugh in that video.
Around in this game, and also probably FNAF 3. But what's most surprising is the final blueprint. Lefty, that oddball black bear that just showed up in this game. A bear that, according to its acronym, is programmed to lure something by emitting a bracelet code and then encapsulate it with a combination of lullabies and controlled shocks. A bear suit that was made by Henry that has the sole purpose of capturing none other than the puppet. You can even tell it's already accomplished its goal if you look closely at this rare screen you sometimes get when you boot up the game. The signature striped arm of the puppet showing through the Lefty animatronic animatronic. But it doesn't stop there. If you buy and then play the security puppet minigame 3 times over the course of your week in the restaurant, you see a child trapped outside the pizzeria wearing a bracelet. The puppet, a security device of all things, is trained to respond to her specific bracelet code, green, and so it—
The bracelet code! Okay. I'm locked. That's why it says bracelet code.
Chases her outside only to find her dying in the alley, short-circuiting from the rain that's pouring
Oh my god, this looks horrific.
down around it. It lies down next to her, and the two fuse into one. And this lines up with exactly what we hear in the game's true ending.
My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent.
Is the puppet Henry's daughter? Is that who the puppet is?
I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you and for those you have carried in your arms.
Henry's daughter, the first victim, is—
Why did William kill Henry's? Because that's the first kid that was. Oh, I'm locked in. I'm retaining all this. Why did William kill Henry's daughter though? Like, why did he kill her?
is the puppet, the one who gave life to everyone that came after her and gave peace to their souls in FNAF 3. Finally confirmed after I'd been predicting it for 3 years since the—
Oh, Matt Pat, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not retain that bit of information. That was genuinely my first time hearing this information. Catch this Mew though? My fault.
the release of FNAF
I did not retain that.
2. So there you have it. Henry from the books is now canon in the games. His daughter is the puppet trapped inside Lefty. Everyone, including Michael, dies in the FNAF 6 fire, and baby's name is established as Elizabeth in Henry's
Elizabeth Afton, okay.
closing monologue. It's all pretty cut and dry. I mean, if you want to get really deep, the images on the wall—
Did William Afton kill Henry's daughter because Elizabeth died? Because if my memory serves me correctly, Sister's location happened before— no. Yes. Sister's location happened before FNAF 1. No, never mind. No. Because Elizabeth died. When Elizabeth died, William Afton was already catching bodies. Never mind. L theory.
walls in the alley are actually blurry contracts. You can tell based on the bullet points and oddly short paragraphs, which I have seen more than enough time to identify at a glance. And all of that relates back to that theme of what is paragraph 4, which has been Scott's calling card for this game.
Wait, Sister's location came first?
The creepy imagery of the ventriloquist and clown that you also see in the alleyway isn't teasing some new game like a lot of people have been assuming, but rather it's just an artistic recreation of the Afton family. William is the ventriloquist. The dummy, who looks exactly like him, represents Michael Afton, who, as we know, looks just like his father, just a smaller version of him, and has to parrot back a lot of what his father tells him to do.
Elizabeth is the puppet, and then the son is the bear.
AKA Baby is the clown, for fairly obvious reasons, and the bear on the leash is just Crying Child, a child who is trapped and held back by his family, who ultimately dies in the hands of Fredbear. FNAF 6 even offers explanations for the inappropriate costumes that were mentioned by the phone guy calls from FNAF 3. Yeah, you remember those?
Until replacements arrive, you will be expected to wear the temporary costumes provided to you. Keep in mind that they were found on very short notice, so questions about appropriateness/relevance should be deflected.
They're the Mediocre Melodies crew from this game, which also happen to match up perfectly to the other masks that you see during FNAF 3.
Oh!
3's Happiest Day minigame. Agreed.
Wow, he made this way before he made the other games. So did he write the lore before playing these freaking games?
One is Happy Frog, the pink one is Pig Patch, Mr. Hippo is purple, there's some blue one for some reason, and then Orville the elephant is the orange one with the long nose. But for as much as FNAF 6 explains, and it explains a lot pretty explicitly, it leaves open 3 huge questions.
Okay.
3 questions that no one has been able to answer for the past 2 months until now. Or at least I'm pretty confident that I can answer 2 of those questions. For the third one, I'm gonna need your help. Now, you don't need too much to get that true ending. You just salvage all the animatronics and survive all the nights. It's basic FNAFing 101. But there's another layer to this game. An ending that goes one step beyond just the base storyline.
Talk to me.
The Lorekeeper ending, where things start to get complicated in a hurry. To unlock it, you have to play 3 specific minigames through to completion: Security Puppet, Fruity Maze, and Midnight Motorist. Security Puppet was easy to explain. The others, though, are where the questions start to pop up. In Fruity Maze, the game starts to become more and more unstable as you progress through the 3 levels. By the end of the 3rd stage, collectibles have transformed into slaughtered dogs and
Ew, man.
burial flowers. Your on-screen avatar is trailing bloody footprints, and the
Oh my god.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl reflected in the arcade screen is crying. And for good reason, since standing behind her is none other than the purple guy, dressed in his golden best. Now,
Oh my gosh, that's dark.
this one's confused a lot of online theorists, but in my opinion requires some process of elimination to solve. FNAF 6 is all about tying up loose ends, right? And at this point, the puppet set the souls of FNAF's core 4 of Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica, as well as Golden Freddy free in the Happiest Day minigame.
Right.
Baby, the sister location crew, Springtrap, and the puppet are all taken care of by Henry in the true ending of FNAF 6.
Right.
And the 3 toy animatronics from FNAF 2, which do seem to legitimately be tied to a security database, are scrapped at the end of their game.
Okay.
So who or what does that leave? Mangle. But I'm not saying that the girl is Mangle, I'm telling you it's her dog. Mangle is William Afton's first successful experiment with Remnant, Dog Remnant, which now that
No. I'm not lost. I'm not lost. I'm not lost. I'm kinda lost. Who's freaking dog?
I say it out loud sounds a lot more like
What a day for dogs. That's a crazy callback, dude.
Dog
Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, he's Shout Tucker, bro. What the heck?
Duty than Miracle Soul formula, but let me explain. We obviously see that the girl's crying, but it's not because she's scared. We actually see that Willtrap is able to have a normal conversation with her, saying, "He's not dead. He's still alive. Follow me." She's crying because her dog died, as represented on the screen, and that's the he that William's referencing here. Your dog is not dead. He is still alive. And we have
That is a crazy sprite.
proof that William isn't lying about this either. It's an odd detail that I've never talked about, which is pretty incredible that after so many of these darn videos, I'm still pulling out random factoids to piece into this puzzle. But in the Save Them minigame from way back in FNAF 2, you're in a building filled with 5 dead kids and Purple Guy. All the other animatronics are stationary except for one, Mangle. Alive and well, and unlike every other animatronic in the entire series, roaming around on all 4s.
Okay. I'm following you. I'm following you. I'm following you.
Even though Mangle technically walks around on 3 legs, but you get the point. A design decision so important that we see Scott keep it in Mangle's quest from FNAF 3 as well. Mangle is alive without the puppet giving him gifts or giving him life. So how is the Mangle animatronic moving in this moment? Will
You could say he has that dog in him. I keep missing. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
experimenting with animals and Remnant. And as we see in the Fruity Maze, William uses the fact that the dog is still alive to lure this girl to her death, allowing her to be reunited with her dog forever. For more proof, notice that the dead dog in the Fruity Maze minigame is actually missing an eye, a detail that we see at share with Mangle. Additionally, you ever notice how Mangle is the only animatronic that actually doesn't possess any human-like noises? The core 4 all feature moaning, sighs, or laughs at various points throughout the series. Ballora, Baby, Springtrap, and the Fun Times all talk. Even the Nightmare animatronics breathe, which is a whole nother can of worms I'm not opening up today, but Mangle just has garbled radio noises, almost like its cognitive functioning is much less than all the other possessed creatures in the series. So that's Fruity Maze, but then comes...
Oh, I thought it was... No. Did I see him curled up? No. You pay taxes. $224, 230 pounds, by the way. Okay, my fault. My bad.
The biggie. Perhaps the most vague and bizarre moments from FNAF 6 come from the hidden Easter eggs in the final Lorekeeper minigame, Midnight Motorist.
Okay.
It starts simple enough. A top-down racer game, but glitch through an opening in the bottom of the track, and suddenly you're on a rainy drive through a rural, tree-filled landscape, visiting a bar named Junior's, and eventually making your way to a lonely house hidden deep in the woods. Out pops the driver, and he's orange? Thanks,
Orange guy? Okay, we didn't need another brightly colored man.
God, we finally solved the identity of Purple Guy, and you just had to throw in one final monochromatic
Orange
mystery
guy.
man.
Got
Orange Guy? I like to call him Mustard Man. He charges into the house and rages at the fact that someone, presumably his son, has locked himself in his room. He goes around the back to find a way in, only to discover that the window is broken with a set of footprints and some bear tracks, leading to, quote, that place again. And that's it. The minigame abruptly ends there. No matter how many times you replay this game, it's always the same. It's weird, it's disturbing, and most of all, it's frustrating, since it seems to introduce all new characters in a game that's mostly about bringing every other
because like, what the fudge does that mean?
Character's story to a close. But are these truly new faces? No. Look first at the house. A lone house in a clearing surrounded by trees. Believe it or not, but we've actually seen this house before. On the title screen to FNAF 4. A lone house in a clearing surrounded by trees. Not only that, but both houses...
Oh, that's the FNAF 3 house, the one that's connected to the factory?
Have two stories. Even the roofs look roughly the same. But now think back to a quote that I mentioned last episode about how Scott writes these stories. Quote, there have been other times, however, when my original intentions didn't come across clearly. In those instances, I make a point to clarify in the next game. FNAF 6 is all about clarifying, explaining Remnant, explaining the scooper, the puppet, and what's our connective tissue in this minigame? Someone sitting in a living room watching TV. And what did we see at the end of every night of Sister Location? Michael Afton going home after his shift.
Oh, it's Michael's house!
To watch TV. That slouchy figure there may look like a balding grandma, but it's good old Mike Casual Bong.
Then why didn't they make him purple?
Goes Afton himself binging on his Immortal and the Restless, and I can further prove it via his text. Scott has always roughly adhered to the convention of dialogue colors being important, and this final game is no exception to this rule. Green bouncer dude talks in green, orange guy talks in orange, and Michael Afton on the couch talks in gray, exactly like he did when he was laughing at his crying brother back in FNAF 4. It's definitely a slightly different shade, but he's also the only one in the entirety of this series to speak in gray lettering. They also both wear gray shirts. Only the truly fashionable match their t-shirt to their font color. Couple all of that with him watching TV, the FNAF 4 title screen house, which always has a TV in it, and the character being protective over some him.
Oh, because he didn't get scooped yet. That's why it's Michael. Okay.
A younger brother, and you have yourself the perfect portrait of the Afton family, which would make Orange Guy Purple Guy, otherwise known as William Afton. He's even...
Why is he purple? Why isn't he purple?
got a signature purple car, the same one that we saw him use in the FNAF 2
Oh, he did use that John. He did use that John.
Cake minigame before he killed off Henry's daughter. But why? Why would Scott choose to make William Afton some color other than purple for like the first time ever in the final game in the series? The answer is actually kind of mundane, because by this point in the series, there are two different purple guys, William and his son. It would have been confusing from a storytelling standpoint, though I do gotta say, Scott, it's not that much better, since now you're swapping in a whole new color for a character who's been represented by another color the whole time. It's a bit confusing. Anyway, what does all of this mean? Why, out of all things, did Scott choose to show us this random scene? What is he trying to explain about the story through the
I feel like he could have made them purple and we would have got that was Michael and William. I feel like we could have gotten that. We wouldn't have thought there were new purple guys. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of whack.
Battle between an orange William Afton and a runaway child. All of that in just a few days. This video is really long already. Plus, in a game that tries to answer everything from the entirety of the series, what was in the FNAF 4 box? Was it truly left forgotten forever? Is Scott waiting to reveal its contents in a future game? Make sure you take a bite out of that subscribe button to find out those final answers, as well as the solution to perhaps the biggest question of them all, the Lorekeeper's final screen. After unlocking all of these glitched minigames, Scott presents us with a series of gravestones filled with names, some familiar and some not so much. So, who are they? What do they reveal about the story? And how can you help me to solve Five Nights' last and most closely guarded secrets? All of that next time. In the meantime, though, remember, Game Theory merch is now...
Did you just cliffhang me?
Yeah.
And promote your merch, bro. GG's. All right. Well, I have to do the 5 clap push-ups because I jumped earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, y'all. That's gonna be the video. I appreciate y'all popping in. You already know the vibes. Be sure to check out my Raw reaction channel, Yoyo Plus. Sure to check out my gaming channel. Post pretty consistently on there. And be sure to check out my VOD channel. So I post the full lives. We'll catch you guys in the next one. This is going to be it from me. Peace.